Welcome to another episode of Tale of the Tape. I believe this is episode 9. Today we're going to have Mo Creek on. Mo Creek from PG County. Started at Oxon Hill. Eventually transferred to South Kent Hargrave. He already hopped in. I'm going to add Mo. And we're going to get straight to it.
Yo,
Yo, what up, Mo?
what's good? What's good?
Man, cool. And how you been?
I ain't cooling. I'm in the car right now driving, so I'm about to be looking up and down and everything. But man, I'm
All
a
right,
duck,
that's cool. I appreciate you joining us today.
no doubt about it.
Hey, quick question. I couldn't remember. Were you in season when the whole pandemic started?
Yeah, so what ended up happening was we about to play a game March 20th in Ukraine, and because of the little the virus or whatever, they sent everybody home March 13th, and a lot of guys went home from all different areas. So it wasn't just, it wasn't just us. Our season got canceled, but a lot of people's seasons got canceled too.
Was I know that had to be a weird feeling, like y'all just mid-season, and everything it just ended just like that.
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, we was in the groove of, getting to know each other and stuff like that. And we were on a winning streak at that time. We was one of the top teams. We didn't really get to finish out the season. So whatever your seeding was, that's what you finished out with. And, we were disappointed and all, but we understood at the end of the day.
Yeah, for sure. Put everybody's health first. So for you, when did your basketball journey begin?
I started playing when I was like 3 years old, just like my cousins. Before I got down to the city, I was down the countryside in Calvert County.
Okay,
So that's where a lot of my family is at, and they toughened me up and taught me how to play. And then when I got around the age of 3 going on 4, I came up to Oxon Hill, and that's when I got with my stepfather, and he taught me a lot more to the game than just actually shooting and stuff, and just playing just to play. So then after that, I really got into it. Really got to the thing where I was like, I'm gonna take this, thing seriously. So,
yeah.
So yeah, it started at the age of 3 for real.
All right. So then were you playing, like, of course not 3, but like when you got elementary school, middle school age, is that when you started playing for different organized teams?
Yeah, I would say around elementary time, that's when Boys and Girls Club was starting off.
Mm-hmm.
Around like 7, 8. That's
Yeah.
when I was 7. That's when I started with the Temple Hills Rec Center. When I, got to like 8, 9, that's when I was at the Oxon Hill Boys and Girls Club. That's when I started really panning off. I mean, I panned off at Temple Hills too, but people really started to take a notice when it was at Oxon Hill Boys and Girls Club, because a lot of talent in PG County.
Okay. Were you when you were in middle school, did they have basketball teams back yet, or was that?
The middle school,
Yeah.
yeah, it was. I played for Oxon Hill Middle. That's where
Okay.
they was trying to figure out where I was going to go to high school at, because we didn't know if I was going to go to a private school, because a lot of the private schools wanted me to come out there too, or was I
Okay.
going to go to Oxon Hill. And Coach Lanier, that was my coach at Oxon Hill. He used to come up to Oxon Hill Middle all the time and watch me play. And then
Okay.
I just decided to go to Oxon Hill after that. I mean, that was the family decision. And then yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Mo, you breaking up a little bit.
My bad. It's good.
I can hear you. Video froze. Oh yeah,
Okay,
you back,
somebody
you back,
talking.
you back. All right. All right. So when you got to Oxon, were you what was that transition like for you going from middle school to high school? How did that work out for you on the basketball court?
Uh, that was kind of different. You know what I mean? Like, as far as the talent, you know, you in middle school, you can basically do whatever you wanted to do as long as you can hoop. You know what I'm saying? And for my team, I had to do what I had to do because, you know what I'm saying, it was all like tough. We needed a little bit of help and everything. But at the end of the day, we still won games against tough teams. But when you got the high school, you got people who are older than you. You got people, you know what I'm saying, that I'm coming as a freshman. I got seniors, so I'm talented.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean, they not trying to get their spot taken by a freshman either. So they got me out there, you know what I'm saying, trying to make sure they get theirs in too. So I had to learn a lot. Like I didn't just come in, jump in, and just get what I got. I had to earn mine from bottom up. You know what I mean? So it's pretty tough.
Right. So you went straight to varsity your freshman year.
I played JV and varsity. So what would happen is, I played JV fully, and then sometimes I would go with the varsity squad depending on what was happening, or if they just wanted me to travel just to get experience and exposure and stuff like that. But I
Okay.
didn't just jump right into varsity.
Okay. Okay. Um, what was like your biggest challenge? I know you mentioned like the, playing with, seniors on the team, they don't want to lose their spot. But what were some of the other adversities? Like, did you see like you had to a lot more skill work to get in before you could be at that level?
I think the most important thing that I had to learn was I didn't have to do it alone. You know what I mean? In
Okay.
middle school, like I was getting a lot of shots up just because of the fact of the matter was like they depended on me to do what I need to do. But when I got to high school, when I was around them seniors and stuff like that, I didn't, or even like in the JV field, like we had talent. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't really have to
Mm.
do everything. I didn't feel like I had to go out there and take 50 shots to get 75, or you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that was the difference
Yeah.
for me. But I just felt as time went on, you know what I'm saying, the talent level just got high.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. So sophomore year, talk to us about sophomore year. I know that was a big transition for you. I mean, a big jump as far as notoriety and getting your name out there.
I didn't hear you. What you say?
I said sophomore year. Sophomore year, that's when your name really got to ringing around the area. What was that like for you?
Yeah. So after I did my other freshman year, I reclassed at Mount Zion.
Uh,
So after that, coming my sophomore year, everybody was expecting me to like take Oxon Hill to the top. You know what I mean? Like it just
okay.
was what it was. I knew what I had to do. I knew it was gonna be, what I'm saying, that was gonna be my mob. That they depended on me to do a lot for the team and everything like that. And I just had to take it on as, me being a sophomore. It's tough because I'm still young. I was what, 15 at the time. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
As a sophomore,
Yeah.
or like 16, 15, 16. So you gotta think about it. Depending, like, if the kid mind not tough to take over and take responsibility for the team, it could get tough. And at sometimes it got tough, and at sometimes it didn't. But I felt like for me, like that was that was this year that stamped who I really was. Everybody found out what it was for me when I came back that year.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I had my big games. I think I had like 35 plus games that year. Um, I had
That's
40
tough.
against Rhodes. I had 40 against Rhodes. I had 40 against Suitland. Um, Two tough teams. I mean, me and Darnell. He's at Paul 6 right now. I seen him like when I was last summer when they had the little tournament down in the Mather, and there was,
Hmm.
and he said he'll never forget it. He'll never forget it. But I just wanted to prove that I was a part of the city. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nobody knew who I was. I mean, even with me playing at Berry Farms at a young age, I started playing at Berry Farms when I was 13. playing with the Sweat Mob when we had me, KD, and Mike and Bill Sweat,
That's
Sweatsuit
tough.
Bill, and
That's tough.
nobody still to that day, nobody knew who I was. Everybody knew I had talent, but nobody knew how I was gonna pan out. But um, when I got to Oxon Hill that year, I told I never forget. I told my father, like, I was going out there to destroy everybody. It didn't matter like what it was or how it was. I knew, like, after going from Mount Zion's playing on the national team as a ninth grader, I knew coming back here, like, I was going to try to destroy everybody, and that was my mindset
Yeah.
the whole.
And like honestly, you did. I mean, that year as a sophomore, I mean, you were an honorable mention All Met, right? Am I
Yeah,
correct
I
on
was
that?
honorable. Yeah, I was honorable mention that year.
That's tough. I mean, as a sophomore leading your mob like that, that's tough. Like you said, if your mindset wasn't on it, it was no way that was going to pan out.
For sure. Yeah, man. I mean, and
Um,
it just grew on me. You know what I mean? Because it's just the fact of the matter is, I knew what it was coming into it. Like, we had already had conversations. Nobody knew I was coming back until almost that very day. Only one person knew that I was coming back into the city. So everybody still
okay.
over in North Carolina was gonna go back, and then I was like, "Nah, I'm heading home." And like the whole city just turned upside down. Like, damn. But that year was the year that, like, literally solidified who I was.
That's tough. That's tough. Um, After that, you went on the South Kent Prep.
Yep.
What was that experience like? That's up northeast somewhere. Well, that's in Connecticut, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that experience like up there?
I mean, it was tough. You know what I mean? Like, again, you gotta think. You're going into so many different opportunities and stuff like that, but at the same
Hmm.
time, I knew what I had to do. I did what I had to do. I averaged 20, I think 21 that year, 22 that year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, I played with, a couple of NBA pros, Isaiah Thomas and Deion Waiters, and what I'm saying, we didn't know how to win with each other, but at the same time, it still was a great experience at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? I knew Deion when he was young. You know what I mean? I knew
Okay.
how he was going to pan out because he was just raw. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
and Isaiah, we already knew how he was going to be. He was getting like 50s, like, easy. You know what I mean? He made it look easy. So it was. I got a chance to play with them guys. It was great, man. So I mean, I did what I had to do. I was a scorer for the
Uh,
team. They knew they wanted me to come in and score the basketball. That's what my job was to score. That's what I came in there to do and win games.
what were some of like the biggest games or some of your best memories being up there playing on that talented team and a national schedule like that?
At South Kent, or
Yeah. South Kent. South Kent.
um, I had a couple of. I think I had like a few 40-point games that year.
Okay.
We were playing like, man, who were we playing? They had an African on the team. He was like 7'5", 7'6".
That's
They
crazy.
said he was supposed to be like number one. They thought he was gonna go to the league straight out of high school. He ended up not going,
Mm.
but he was like he had a soft touch and everything like that. So we were going up against him, and man, like, I think we were starting off slow or something, and we turned it up like me, Isaiah, and Dion. We just turned it straight up off the roof, and we beat the brakes off the team. But it was like, I think I had 30. I think Isaiah might have had 30, and I think Dion ended up having like 18, 19, almost 20. So it was like we just ran it up. I think that was one
Yeah.
of them. But I don't know. Honestly, I just had a great year, like my junior year. Like,
Okay.
after coming out from Oxon Hill averaging 21, 4, and 5. You know what I mean? I go to South Kent, and I'm like, this ain't nothing different. I'd already been through the road and all the struggles and stuff like that. So for me, it was just like, all right, this is another playing field. I got some new people with me, but at the end of the day, this ain't nothing new to me. I'm just gonna go ahead and do what I do, and everybody else follow suit, or shoot. We gonna see how it rocks out. But at the end of the day, everybody respected each other, and know what I'm saying, kept it cordial.
Yeah. I wanted to be in. That's a loaded backcourt. You, Isaiah, Dion. How did y'all ever like butt heads or anything just because of the talent level, or y'all saw different things you want to do out there?
Nah, I mean, you gotta think at the end of the day, Isaiah was a senior, so he was going to do everything in his power to, what I'm saying, he was trying to make the McDonald's joint. We knew that.
Okay.
He wasn't going to let that get in the way of what was the goal. The goal was to win the game, but you can also know like he was trying to get his or whatever, and it wasn't. I was junior, so it was it's not. It wasn't a bad thing. We needed that job, like, because
Okay.
you know what I'm saying, we needed everybody to score to win games.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But Dion didn't even start for us. It was me and Isaiah in the backcourt, and then it was I don't know if you remember, it was dude was Chinese, like 6'9", straight shooter. His name was Jinsu Kim. He went to Maryland. He didn't play, but he went there. He had an offer there. He went,
Yeah. Yeah.
and he was our three man. So
That's
Dion came
tough.
off the bench striking,
That's tough.
and that's why I think he didn't even care about the role he had at Syracuse for real, because he already panned out and had he already hit me with my eyes, but so he already panned out all that. You know what I'm saying? Having to start, he didn't really have to do anything. He had to start. He had to do anything. He just wanted to get the job done.
Okay. So that role, he was accustomed to that role already.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Okay. Um, was any specific reason why you chose Hargrave for your last year?
Uh,
Okay.
Funny story about that. I was supposed to go to Hargrave my junior year, but I was like, hell
Okay.
nah. I was like, nah, I don't know about that, man. That right there, that's kind of tough. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Just having to go through that military thing for 2 years straight. I mean, shout out to everybody who did it. More power to you, but I don't
Yeah.
think I could have did it. No kidding.
Okay. Okay.
So
So.
I mean, after the year that we had, we didn't really have the best year as far as wins and losses, and we knew
Mhm.
we was losing Isaiah. We knew Dion wasn't coming back to the school. I wasn't gonna come back, so I had to make a decision about where the hell I was gonna go. And I was like, but all in all, like they knew I needed to be at Hargrave. My people knew I needed to be at Hargrave just because they knew I was going into a prestigious college come next year, and I had
Okay.
to get ready. I had to
Okay.
get ready for that. So, for real, I just chose Hargrave because they was gonna get me ready right in like school. They was gonna get me right for college. They was gonna, teach me how to be an adult.
Okay.
And it panned out to be a great decision. Did I like the decision? No, I didn't. I did not like the military route. But at the end of the day, you gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You wanna play basketball for a living, and not do anything else. You gotta sacrifice and take what's necessary.
Yeah. You made them, but I mean, even senior year, that's still a mature decision to make to put yourself in the best position for your future.
Yeah.
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 Um. All right. So when you got down there, was it tough at first? First few weeks, maybe month or so.
Probably might have been the toughest experience I probably had, like, for. Yo. Oh, never mind. There you go. There you go. You good?
There you go. Yeah. So you what? Yeah, I'm good.
Yo.
What was that like? Mo, can you hear me?
You good?
Yeah, I just left from the basement. I'm going upstairs.
All right, so yeah, as far as the Hargrave thing or whatever, I was never a morning person. So when I had got the Hargrave, I had to learn how to get up at like 6 a.m., learn how to make my bed up like the proper way. Like they talking about folding corners and all that.
Yeah.
You gotta be, and I'm always like, I don't sleep at night. Like I'm on something at night. Either I'm watching basketball, either I'm playing games with my friends, or you know what I'm saying. I don't sleep at night, so it was tough for me even as a kid to do that. But at the end of the day, I found a way to get through it all, and you know what I'm saying. I had a great year. I think as far as everything, if you want to not just put basketball into it, but schooling and everything in the perspective, that had to be my best year.
Okay. Um, what made that year stand out from the other years?
What happened?
What made that year stand out from the other years?
I played some of my best basketball as far as, um, you know, you can look at every other year and say, oh, you played great. You might have did better here, better there.
Yeah.
But to do it in that environment, you know what I'm saying? And you're not just playing slouches. You playing all the other types of prep schools too that got talent. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think I averaged like going on 20 that year. I think I was first team all prep that year.
Mm-hmm.
I was playing with a hell of a lot of talent. Me, Chris Braswell, Luke Hancock that went to Louisville, Evan Gordon. We had a mob. Freddie Riley, he went to UMass. We had a mob, and we went to the championship. We lost by 2 points to a team that had two UConn. They two people that were going to UConn that year.
Okay.
And Alex Oriaki and Jamal McDaniel Combs or something like that. They were going to UConn that year, and they went to Tilton High School. They ended up beating us by like 2 or 4 in the championship, but that was our only loss. You know what I mean?
I
That
see. I
loss
was
was our only.
undefeated until that game.
I think we were undefeated. Either we lost one before that, or we didn't lose at all. But we didn't lose. But I think we lost one game before that, so we might have been like 20-2 or something like that.
Okay.
But it was like my best year. Like I felt like, especially like I said, like having to go through all that stuff in the military and stuff like that. You gotta think like, damn, like that shit can get tiring.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it didn't for me. It made me learn to be a man. It taught me how to be a man. You know what I mean? And I appreciate it, even though it sucked. I appreciated it.
Nah, that's big respect that you could speak on that. And you let it be known, like it helped you become a better person.
For sure.
What was your recruitment process like?
Well, my recruiting process started when I was 9th grade at Mount Zion.
Okay.
Miami had came to come see me play. They had came to come see me practice, and they liked me. They offered me that day. You know what I mean?
That's
So
tough. Yeah.
I was like, nah, hell with that. We trying to get you now. And the crazy thing about it was I was trying to go. So I was gonna commit, but I didn't at that time. I didn't know too much. I didn't want to erase everybody off the board just yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you don't do that, and not unless you just know that's your favorite school and you trying to get there. Like, you go. But at that time, I didn't really know too much about Miami. I just knew like Miami was coming to see me. And then when Oxon Hill started out, that's when Maryland started to come about. That's
Okay.
when North Carolina Duke started to come about. Michigan, Texas was a big one for me. That's when these schools started panning, talking about mail. My mailbox was full as hell, like every day. Mother was getting tired of it. Still got the letters to this day, like in the crate. You know what I mean? Just stacked up, piled up letters, like hundreds and hundreds of letters. I'm like, damn. And then Indiana comes about, like my late 10th grade year going to Indiana. Don't know nothing about Indiana. Don't know, you know what I mean? Like nothing
Yeah.
about it. Only thing I knew was they beat Maryland beat them in 2002. The championship game in 2002.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm like, let me look into what Indiana is. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Let me
Yeah.
go
Do
ahead.
some research on it.
Yeah, do some research real quick. Because, I mean, I know about everybody else. I know about North Carolina. I know about Duke. I know about, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
About Maryland. Shit. You know about these schools, but let me see what's Indiana about. And then me and my dad was talking about, I'm like, yeah, Indiana off. And then he's like, yeah, I just got finished talking to Coach Seltzer. He was the assistant coach. He's like, damn, they're trying to come to the house. So I ended up coming to the house and everything. They recruited me big time. Like they came to the house. They did a lot. I'm not saying nobody else did, but they did a lot of work too. And
Okay.
yeah. So when it came about, like I decided that it was gonna be out of Indiana and Miami.
Okay.
Maryland at that time had picked what's his name? Sean Mosley from Baltimore in '08. And I'm 09, they had to wait a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so they picked the guy, you know what I'm saying, that they thought was gonna pan out off the rip. Respect.
Right.
Um, but yeah, it was out of Indiana and Miami. And I told my dad, like, Dad, I really want to go to Miami. He was like, you might want to reconsider. They got 5 national championships in Indiana's in basketball state. Miami cool and all, but Miami like more for football
Mm-hmm.
than basketball. That's how it was when I was like, I still want to go to Miami.
Hey,
Like,
yeah, it's tough to tell an 18, 19-year-old
you know what I
like
mean?
the
Like,
place.
no,
Yeah.
I can't go to Miami, but you know what I mean? Yeah, we chose Indiana. And everybody was excited. I would never forget like my recruiting, not my recruitment, but when I first got there in the summertime, everybody went nuts. So it's just you know what I'm saying, when you put on that jersey and everything like that, they really like care about you and stuff like that. So it was really cool, man.
No, even to this day, like I've noticed, like when your social networks, a lot of people from Indiana, they still like show love, like you still
Yeah,
playing there.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. That freshman year in Indiana, man, I remember clear as day, like being at school, and it was just like, what was it, the first 10, 12 games, like you was on fire. Like it was just so crazy. It was just like, bro, he from back home and he killing. Like killing. What was
Yeah.
that going into college? Like you know that the talent level's going up, the skill level's going, everything's going up. How was that for you? Like being able to go in and able to have an impact like that?
It was just like crazy for me. I didn't know what to expect. I'm a freshman going into college. I
Yeah.
mean, I ain't know, but at the same time, like I felt like I still could play the game. I felt like I'm still me. You know what I'm saying? It's still basketball. We knew what it was. That's why a lot of people were transferring out when we came in, because they knew they were trying to play the freshmen. So I knew, like, I just got to go in there and take care of what I need to do. I'm going to go in there and play. And when I play, like, I'm just going to go ahead and do what I got to do and get the spotlight on me, whatever. So what ended up happening was I had a meeting with, you know what I'm saying, all the coaches, and they just was like, like, we going to play y'all, so we need y'all to be on point. You can't, it's a difference coming from college to high school. I mean, high school to college. Like, high school, you can kind of get away with stuff. Here, like, it's everybody got talent now. You gonna
Yeah.
have to really show out, kind of. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just be like, oh, I'm just this name and thinking you're gonna get off. It don't work like that. You gotta really put in the work. And I remember, like, I was in there grinding, getting extra shots up. You know what I'm saying? Working out every day and stuff like that. And you know, I got hot. I got hot really quick, and it really showed, like, that the vocal point was giving Maurice the ball, like making him like trying, you know what I'm saying, like trying to get him off. Like that's what the vocal point was, and I embraced it because you know I love shooting the basketball, love scoring the basketball. So you know they really gave it to me, and I just put in the work, and you know what I'm saying, made everybody know that. Shit, I mean, even though I'm a freshman, I still got game. Just wanted to, you know what I'm saying, get respect from everybody.
Yeah, and that respect, like that Kentucky game, you went crazy. You went crazy. And I just remember it being, I ain't watched the game, but I just remember that next morning waking up seeing it. And I was like, bruh, this don't make no sense. And that's all people could talk about for weeks in, weeks on out. What was that game like for you? Because I think Kentucky, they were like number 3 or 4 in the country at that point.
Yeah, so yeah, they were number 4 in the country at that time, and honestly, like I didn't go to sleep that day. I didn't go to sleep that night. I was up all night thinking about it, all day thinking about it. I'm in here like just because you gotta think about it. You playing John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins, Eric Bledsoe, Darius
Ron
Miller.
Lamb, all of them.
No, Deron was after that.
Yeah, he was after, okay.
Patrick Patterson, Donnell Dawson was on that team. Who else? Dang, what's the other big man name that went? They had 6 people go to the league that year. You got to think about that.
The backup big man, he was tough too. He was another top player. Was it
Daniel Orton.
Okay. Yeah.
It was like you got to think like you playing against 6 pros.
Yeah.
So everybody just thought like and even though we did get beat bad, it wasn't like that in the first half. Like we really showed like we could hang with anybody for real, just had to play.
Yeah.
But yeah, everybody thought we was gonna get beat. I'm talking about beat bad because you know they just beat the brakes off of who they played it was like a couple days before they were a top team and they just beat the brakes off of them. So I'm just hearing on the news, I'm hearing on CBS, you know, all this stuff like everybody doing their predictions. They like, yeah, Indiana will get blown out. Indiana will get blown out. So I'm amped off the work. And I already know John. Me and John been playing against each other since we was in high school.
Okay.
You know what I mean? AAU circuit, high school, all that. So I'm amped. And I ain't know really too much about Black, but I mean I did after that because he burnt us up that game. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, so my whole thing was just going out there, just staying calm with everything and just hooping like I know how to hoop. And, you know, that's what I did, honestly.
Yeah, that was crazy. Soon after that knee injury, how was that for you? Like, I know that had to be tough.
Yeah, it was. It was tough because of the fact that I knew what I was going to decide to do. I knew after the season was over, it was no way that they were going to allow me to stay in school.
Yeah.
We already had the talks. I already had to talk with my mother and father. My mother pushing school route, of course. My father was like, "Fuck that, we gone. Like
right
we can
while
always
you
go
hot.
back to school. Yeah, get out while you hot right now." And you know, it was crazy because like you looking at the draft boards. The draft boards got damn near. They had John going first. They had DeMarcus Jai like going second. They had like a lot of Kentucky players like up on that draft board. They had Bledsoe up on the top of the board or whatever. You see my name on the top of the board. I'm like, dang. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. It was real crazy to even see. But then my mindset grew like, just stay on course, just try to finish out. And then that happened. I was like, damn, I've got like started over. I had to start. I'm like, got to start from point A now to point B all again. Because I already, like I said, I already knew what I wanted. I already on course of getting it. And it just, that happened. That kind of derailed like everything. So, yeah, that was tough for me. But, you know, like as I got older, I started to think like, you know, everything happens for a reason. You just got to stay on course with everything. And, you know what I'm saying, keep your mind in faith. You know what I mean? Because
Definitely.
It would hurt. It would hurt every other kid. You know, you about to make millions of dollars. You about to take care of your family. You about to play in the NBA. You about to, you know what I'm saying, do this and do that. it would hurt every other kid because that's everybody's goal, get to the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I'm saying. I learned as time went on that NBA is not the only way. So
Yeah. And then I think this where it gets like really, really wild. Like the next 2 years, basically the next 2 years, they start off the same way. Another knee injury next year, and then after that, a torn Achilles before the season even start. Well,
yeah.
did you still have the mindset then, or did it start to get a little bit tough for you at that point?
As far as playing basketball,
Yeah, like your mentality, you're just on still like having faith, still realizing it's another way to make it.
I ain't gonna lie. Like I had thought about stopping.
Okay.
After that third injury, what saved me was my daughter. I ain't
Mm,
gonna lie. Like, what saved me was me having a child. If
okay.
I ain't have a child, I don't know what my decision would be. Even if I would have continued to play, like it would have been a hard decision for me to continue to play. But I had a child. I knew like that's somebody I need to take care of at the end of the day. What are you great at? What are you good at doing? Like, do you really want to, stop playing this game? I mean, you got to go through the surge. You need the surge. You got to go through the rehab and stuff like that. But you already did it. You know what it is and how to maneuver from all that. And when you back, you just got to kill it again. You just got to keep going. That was, and I, you know what I'm saying, after starting to talk to myself like that, I just decided, like, I'm not going to allow these injuries to stop me from playing until I want to stop playing the game. And when I
Yeah.
had that mindset, like, I just reeled it off. I worked hard. I got back to what I'm, got to doing. And, now I'm successful at playing basketball overseas.
Yeah, for sure. You did your year at GW, and that was a great year. Average 15, buzzer beat against Maryland. I remember that was live, and the team
Yeah.
went to the tournament that year, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
So,
so that was a great. You definitely bounced back, and just kept it
yes,
moving.
sir. Yeah, that was a great year for me too. That was I think that was the year that kind of got me over the edge of even playing
Okay.
like in overseas because you think about it, like, I mean, first and foremost, when everybody found out I was transferring, like, that shit was Fox 5 News. So when
Coming
Indiana
home.
when it was Indiana, when I was at Indiana, because I had decided to transfer, but I still had to go to school. I still had to I
You
still
said
had
to
to
be
go
up
to
there.
the school in Indiana, just what I'm saying, just to graduate from the classes and stuff like that. I had to go. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You just seeing the whole newspapers and all that stuff, but I just wasn't going to let somebody dictate what it was going to be for me. You know what I mean? Like,
hmm
they would it was rumors like that I wasn't really going to play my senior year. I wasn't going to let that happen. I was going to find somewhere where I was needed and I just wanted to be there.
yeah.
And I got it. I get it. It's a business at the end of the day. That's why I tell people, like, they'll rub you when what I'm saying, you're doing good, but then if you're not, they nexting you. And that's what I got at Indiana. I got the next call up. Now, I understood. I wanted to be around. I wanted to stick around, but at the end of the day, I got to do what's best for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and find somebody that wants me to be there, kill it, and then I'm gonna make you think about what your decision was. And that was my whole thing. Like, if wherever I go, I'm gonna make the NCAA tournament, regardless of where I would have went. And it was, what I'm saying, out of 3 schools, out of Marshall, Texas, and George Washington. And
Okay.
I was gonna pick Texas. It was crazy. I was gonna pick Texas because they had already been recruiting me off Jump Street
Yeah.
since my high school days, but I didn't. They wanted to. They was recruiting a guy. He was a freshman, and of course you're gonna take somebody you can get 4 years out of than just one.
Right.
So I understood that. Another business move. So I went to George Washington. I knew Isaiah Arnwood. We had already played against each other so much. Him being from Baltimore, being from Maryland, and
hmm
I knew, like, he was a hard worker. I knew he was gonna be a vocal point to the team. They needed another vocal point. We both were seniors, and we had some good pieces to the core. We had Joe McDonald, who was a solid point guard, could score. He's a real point guard. Like, he was like the passing point guard that can get a bucket, but he would love to pass the ball to you first.
Mm-hmm.
Needed that. You had Keaton Savage, athleticism. You had Patricio Guarino. He went to play in the NBA for a little bit. We had Kevin Larson. He was a big body with a soft touch. We had a lot of guys. We had some freshmen that were talented, man, that can do it. We had a mob, and people ask me all the time, like, what made y'all so special to the point y'all got to the NCAA tournament? And my thing was we knew what everybody was expecting. We knew like nobody thought we were going to be good until we were the number 2 team in the whole Maryland, state of Maryland, DC, Maryland, and Virginia. We were better than all the other teams other than VCU. They were in our conference too. Could never beat VCU for some reason, but it's all good. But we beat Maryland. When we beat Maryland, that boosted everything, and I made it to the point that was going to happen. Like, we know one of my little brothers, Roddy Peters, played on the team. I call him my little brother. He's not by blood, but he grew up with me. You know what I mean? In my house, so it was like a student versus like the teacher type deal. So I had you know what I mean? I would amp for that game too.
It was personal for you.
Personal type deal. It was really more so personal because Maryland was my favorite school.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Me growing up, like, I wanted to go to Maryland University more than anything. And for my scholarship to be like taken away because, you know what I'm saying, somebody was above me and ahead of me, that kind of showed me like, damn, like I wasn't worthy of that spot type deal. So when I had the opportunity, I was trying to even get to Maryland even after, like, when I was like in my transfer year. I was like trying to get to Maryland, like work out and stuff like that. Wouldn't allow me to go. But I'm happy for like the journey that I had though, and especially that George Washington route, because, you know, like I said, nobody expected us to be good, and then we end up going 24-9, and, you know, playing in the NCAA tournament for the first time in 7 years, and then, you know what I'm saying, you just, it's a lot that goes with that nobody like realize thinking about. You know what I mean? So
they just see the end result of it and don't realize everything it took to get there.
Exactly, and it definitely took a lot. It took a lot of, how can I say it? You know, I mean, you got somebody new coming in. They didn't really. It wasn't like they didn't want me to just be the star of the whole thing, but they was like, I had to earn that spot, and I was cool with earning it. Like, you know what I mean? Me and Isaiah knew each other off the rip, so I knew what it was going to be. It was going to be me and Isaiah's show. Everybody else that followed suit type deal knew that. So my whole thing was like just putting in the work like I did before when I was at Indiana, just putting in the work, and winning games, because that was the most important thing. The more you win games, the more people start to notice you as not just a basketball player, but a leader. And, you know what I'm saying? That's what I wanted to be for the team, and end up being that way.
For sure. And you mentioned earlier how the year at GW that really prepared your career to play professionally. What how was that transition? You know, now you're done with college. I'm sure you got an agent. What was that like? Now you looking to play the professional route. What was that for? What was that like for you?
Very different, because I didn't know what to expect. I had just got finished working out for the Wizards at that time, and they ended up taking Jordan Clarkson that year and trading him off for cash or something like that. But it just was a crazy experience. You know what I mean? I didn't know what to expect. I didn't really know what I was doing as far as going into getting, you know what I'm saying, going overseas and stuff like that. And but and that's when I learned about percentages and all that other stuff. Like, that stuff really matters. Like, if you're an American, they want the points, they want the win, they want percentages. Like, and if you don't have that, it's hard for you to get overseas. A lot of people that don't go overseas just because of the fact that they don't take care of the business in college, like how they think or how they supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? You gotta. It's like going back to school again for real. You gotta have your film ready. you gotta have a lot of stuff ready. Like
Yeah.
people don't think about these things until they're like, damn, why can I never go overseas? And it's like, you gotta really prepare. You gotta really be on it. You gotta really find your agent. You might have to go on Facebook and go on the group chat like, hey, I'm a free agent. You might
Yeah.
have to take routes like that to get
Yeah.
to the money. And that's I didn't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Never I ain't have to do that, but I'm saying like it's things that people not thinking about that they're gonna have to think about going into that next level. Like if you slumming it up, you don't have that many chances left. Like if you even scoring like that and your team's not winning, they'll find a way to blame you and bring you back home and go to the next person that'll make them win. And you know what I'm saying? A lot of people can go out there and drop 30, 40. Shoot, I was averaging 22.4 in Israel. We lost 3 or 4 straight games. I actually won my last game with a hip pointer, and I got fired from the team 2 hours after we won that game. So that just shows like it don't matter who you are, you can get cut if you're not about your business. You're not about winning. That's all they care about is winning.
Different. It's different over there.
Mm-hmm. Different. It definitely is different.
What was the biggest thing you took away? Was it the business aspect of it, playing professionally overseas? Like, what's the biggest takeaway from traveling and playing across the world?
Nothing is never. It's never promised. Nothing's
Okay.
promised. It don't matter what you're doing. It don't matter what you're playing. I even started taking life into that aspect. You know what I mean? Just because of the fact that life ain't promised. So when I come through every day, you know what I'm saying, coming on this earth, on this world, playing basketball, doing whatever, I try to give it my all. You know what I mean? Because you know what I mean. You never know when it could be your last. Shoot, I ain't know like I was gonna get injured 3 times at Indiana.
Yeah.
That could have hampered my whole basketball career had I let it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Had I let it, yeah, I would probably never have touched the basketball ever again. But I stuck to the course and stuff like that. But I tell people like, if you want it, go get it because like, if you mess with the game will get you back. You know what I mean? The game will find a way to get you back. And like, if you cheat the game will cheat you. And so my whole thing is just give it your all every time. Don't matter what you're doing.
All right. All right. I wanted to talk to you about hooping. I know that like you playing the Goodman League, Watson League up here in Brunson, Baltimore. Uh, what is that like for you? Is that just like more of a release thing, or do you take it the same way as you do if you getting that check for the game?
I mean, when I'm on the floor, like it's you know what I'm saying, certain things you want to work on as far as like it's your summertime grind. So like
Mm-hmm.
you might want to work on, you know what I'm saying, coming off screens and making good decisions. You know what I'm saying? I can always shoot the ball, so I'm not even worrying about that. But you know what I'm saying? Certain things you want to learn and then take it into going into your next year overseas. But um, my whole thing was just competing to the best of my ability and trying to win. Because at the end of the day, you win. You know what I mean? Everybody noticed that from the city. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially us going into the Brunson League the first year. Nobody knew who the fuck we was.
Yeah.
Nobody knew. Like,
The DC team. That's all it was.
yeah,
The
oh
DC
yeah,
team.
they from DC. We don't know them, and
Shout out to
we know
Sam.
everybody from Baltimore. Like,
Yeah.
all right, well, you're gonna get to know us. We'll get the easy way or the hard way. No matter. But you know what I mean. But that 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 was good that we went down there and showed out the way we did. You know what I'm saying? We got the respect that we needed to get. And you know, I ain't mad. I wasn't mad at it. But every time I step on the floor, you're gonna get. I might be chilling at some point in times, but you know what I'm saying? It's more so like I'm more so thinking about what I want to work on as far as just going out there winning. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I win the game, yeah. My whole thing is winning the game, but I want to learn also.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey. Hey, before we get out of here, I had this I heard this wild story back when I was like in high school, bro. Did you play a game left-handed at Oxon?
So what people don't know about me, and only a certain few select will remember this. Like I had broke my right hand. I had broke my right hand. I started doing everything left-handed. But
Okay.
even before I broke my right hand, I could still shoot with my left hand. I was shooting my left hand before I shot with my right.
Okay.
You know, and so breaking that, I, you know what I'm saying, ended up playing. Broke my right hand and still play with my left hand or whatever. And everybody was like, damn, how the hell is he doing that? Took my cast off. I had literally took my cast off and played that game all left-handed, like really legit getting buckets with the left hand. And that everybody was like, nah, this ain't even real. I don't know how the hell you doing that.
Hey, bro, I lied to you. I remember hearing that story, and I was thinking the same way. Like, how the hell did he do that? And then just earlier today, I was like, bro, y'all know that story? And they was like, nah, you're gonna have to ask somebody else about that. Like, nah, I'm just gonna ask them later. But that's crazy to finish out the game left-handed like that, bro.
Yeah, man. It was a couple of things, man. It was really a couple of things that I've done. I never forget. We were supposed to play DeMatha. This was DeMatha had Josh Shelby and Najee Hibbert.
Okay.
So I wasn't supposed to play. I had just got hurt. I think I had hurt my ankle or something real bad or something like that. So I had a cast on my ankle. Like I had like a real live cast. Something had to heal. I went out there, and then they were like, "You playing right?" Like I was like, "Nah, I don't think I'm gonna play. I think I just had to watch." And so they they thought I was ducking bump.
Yeah.
So I thought I was ducking smoke. I was like, "Oh no, I ain't ducking. Like I'll play, but I'm not supposed to, John. Like I'm not. You know what I mean?" But I slip my cast off. And played, and I think I ended up having like they said. And the crazy thing about it was they was like I wasn't getting over 20 points, and so I guess that was the whole motive for me, stop him from scoring 20 points. You know what I mean? So my thing was like, I think y'all gonna stop me from getting 20 points. I'm gonna show you more than I can tell you. I don't really talk too much anyway. I'm more so quiet more than anything anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I ended up having like 35, maybe like 30, 35 that game. Probably going on 40 that game, and we won that game. And that was crazy because like Oxon Hill beat the math. And then they found out they already knew who played, and then my people was like, "So you went out there and played?"
Hey, that's
So
tough. Hey, but for the love of the game, you'll do it. And you did it.
do anything.
That's tough. That's tough.
For sure.
Hey, Mo, I definitely appreciate you joining us on here, man.
Man, I appreciate you for having me, bro. It was a pleasure, man, to talk about, everything I went through, man.
Yeah.
And
No,
yeah.
yeah, it's really like we right the same age. I think we're maybe a year apart. So it's definitely like it's tough seeing someone close to your age, right where you from, like getting it done. Like when you was at Indiana, like I'm telling you, I was up Frostburg. Like yeah, he from home. Like so yeah, you definitely got a story, and I appreciate you sharing it with us.
Man, appreciate you for having me on here, man.
All right, Mo, be easy, man.
You too, man.